got some insane rumors around the New Orleans Saints coming from CBS Sports. So in today's video, I'm going to go into detail about what CBS had to say, and I'm going to give my honest reaction, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. This is ridiculous. I want nothing to do with this first topic, so let's just dive straight in. Kirk Cousins could potentially be headed to New Orleans, according to CBS Sports at least. They predicted the Falcons will end up releasing Kirk Cousins, and then the Saints will actually sign him in free agency. Now, it's worth noting that Kirk Cousins did not show up to OTAs, and on top of that, it seems very, very obvious that the Falcons are headed in the direction of Michael Penix being the starting quarterback. He turns 36 years old this year. He does have an injury history, missed time last year with a shoulder injury, had that Achilles injury and whatnot. But in terms of potential landing spots, CBS said that it's going to be either the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New Orleans Saints. And I will say I think Pittsburgh is a likely candidate to land Kirk Cousins because they don't really have a quarterback right now. They don't really have an answer outside of Will Howard. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers heavily tied to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but if they miss out on him or if he just goes haywire, if they're just tired of waiting around, maybe Kirk Cousins could be the quarterback up in the Steel City. But when it comes to the New Orleans Saints, and I just want nothing to do with it. Please, for the love of God, I am begging you, Saints, football gods, if you're listening, please, 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 please do not bring Kirk Cousins to New Orleans. It would be so stupid. It would make no sense. I am so against this idea. And to be honest, I don't think that the Saints are in the market for a veteran quarterback, but Kellen Moore has not shut down the idea of potentially adding to the quarterback room. He said that we do feel like we've got a good room in there talking about the quarterbacks, but obviously we're always looking to upgrade our roster as we go. So it may happen. Now, the Saints, for what it's worth, they just got themselves out of this exact same situation. Why would you go and bring in an expensive, old, injury-prone quarterback when you just freed yourself from an expensive, old, injury-prone quarterback? Why would you go back to that? Why would you reinvest in that exact same situation that was already a hurdle to deal with, and now you don't have to? Why would you revert? Why would you go back to that exact same situation? It would make no sense. It would push this team back multiple years. It would absolutely destroy all of the progress that they've had in terms of rebuilding the roster and the team and the culture and everything around this team. I am so against the idea of signing Kirk Cousins in New Orleans. I'm not saying don't go get a veteran. If you want to go get a guy like a Jacoby Brissett or something like that, Carson Wentz, Tyler Huntley, whatever, I don't really care. But for the love of God, do not go and waste the money on Kirk Cousins. Plus, why would you go and do that? It would just be such a PR nightmare on top of that. It would just be an absolute disaster. Now, again, I don't think that the Saints are going to add a quarterback, at least Kirk Cousins, but Kellen Moore added more context in terms of why he believes the coaching staff can be an effective role as the quote-unquote veteran quarterback presence. We feel like we have some good guys in here that can certainly mentor each other at the same time going through this process, competing to be the starting quarterback. Talking about Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, Hunter Deckers, Jake Haener. I feel like our quarterback room has some experience there in the sense that myself, Doug Nussmeier, and Scott Tolzien, we've all been around this for a while from a player's and a coach's perspective. I'm going to say this. Do not sleep on the coaching staff. This is a very young head coach in Kellen Moore. He was a phenomenal quarterback at Boise State in the college level. Obviously, did not necessarily translate to the professional level, but I do believe in him as a quarterback coach. I believe in him as a head coach. I believe in him as a play caller. I believe in him as a guy who can mentor a young player. In Spencer Rattler, a little bit older of a player, and Tyler Shough, he's actually exactly 1 year older than Spencer Rattler, in case you didn't know. They have the same birthday, funny enough. But don't sleep on this coaching staff. I believe that they can truly translate to the players. They can connect with these players. They can communicate and be understood by these players, and I think that that will be a direct translation to quality football on the field on Sundays for the next handful of years. I believe that they can do that. This is a really cool opportunity, a very unique thing that the Saints are doing. No veteran quarterback right now. They have the opportunity to really do something fun here. Now, in terms of Kirk Cousins, my prediction is that the Atlanta Falcons will actually hold on to Cousins for now. I think Steelers are going to end up signing Aaron Rodgers, and for right now, Kirk Cousins will still remain on the Falcons roster. But I think he will be gone by the trade deadline. Whether it's he gets cut before week 1, whether it's he gets traded because a team gets desperate and has their quarterback get hurt during training camp or gets hurt in week 1 or 2, I honestly could see it going like this. If Brock Purdy gets hurt, Kyle Shanahan is going to start foaming at the mouth just thinking about bringing Kirk Cousins to San Francisco. So I could see the Falcons ultimately moving on from Kirk Cousins. I do not think he'll be the starting quarterback for Atlanta. I think that is going to be Michael Penix. I just, for the love of God, cannot imagine signing Kirk Cousins to the New Orleans Saints. I think it would be an absolute disaster. So I want to ask you the question. If you haven't answered already, if you haven't shared your opinions yet, would you sign Kirk Cousins? Type no or type hell no in the comments. People, Lopez, are going to be in the comments saying, oh my God, this is clickbait. Oh my God, you guys, all you do is just these nonsense BS, blah, 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 blah. Well, CBS talked about it. I was so against the idea. So for those of you who are also saying, wow, I can't believe you think signing Kirk Cousins would be a good idea. Hey, one of these on you. Alrighty, coming up, we're going to talk about the Saints potentially adding a running back. CBS continued with an intriguing target. I will say this one, a lot less insane. And we're going to talk about a decent running back, has some receiving ability here in just a moment. Really quick, I want to encourage you to join the Golden Gang here at Saints Now by Chat Sports. We are currently rocking with 46,326 members of our Golden Gang. If you want to join the Golden Gang, first of all, you got to hit the subscribe button. Secondly, you got to turn on your notifications and set them to all. That way you get notified, and that way you are aware and alerted anytime we post any content. We go live all the time. We put out daily videos multiple times a day, short form content, anything you want. It's your one-stop shop for all things black and gold. So subscribe today, join the Golden Gang, and join our awesome family here at Saints Now by Chat Sports if you want Saints content by fans for fans. Let's get to the running back addiction. Running back addiction. There you go, Lopez. That's a great way to segue into this next segment. Running back addition, Antonio Gibson. He does right now seem to be the odd man out in New England with the extension of Ramondre Stevenson last year. And then they also drafted Travion Henderson, who I am a very, very big fan of. I think he's going to be nice with Drake May in the offense up in New England. He is a solid pass-catching option. And CBS listed the potential landing spots as Denver, Arizona, and New Orleans. Ultimately, they predicted he will be traded to Denver, but they listed the Saints here as a potential target, so we're going to dive into this. Now, Antonio Gibson, in case you're unaware, he's a player that has been around the league since 2020. He was a third-round pick by Washington, number 66 overall. Over the last few years, the production has been kind of up and down, kind of been all over the place. 2021, over 1,000 yards. This is his best season by far. The production, in my opinion, is decent. He's 6 foot, 228 pounds. I just don't know if I'm sold on this. He does have receiving ability, though. For what it's worth, he can be a decent option as a receiving back as well. So if you have Alvin Kamara out, maybe he could be a guy that you plug in. If Kendre Miller doesn't pan out, maybe he's a guy that could be just an extra back to support Devin Neal. I just think at the end of the day, I don't really love the idea of adding Antonio Gibson. Maybe another running back, maybe, but I just doesn't really get me all that excited, to be totally honest. I actually like the running back room in New Orleans. Maybe I have gold-tinted glasses on, and maybe I'm a little bit overly optimistic, but I think that this running back group outside of Alvin Kamara is very intriguing with the youth, with the skill set that they have. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is just a beast in himself. That we're going to acknowledge. He is a dog. He is a phenomenal running back. I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon. Love AK. That being said, with Kendre Miller and Devin Neal, I really, really like what these players bring to the table in terms of their skill sets. I'm also not totally out on Velus Jones Jr. He can be a really intriguing, versatile weapon as a running back / receiving threat, maybe similarly used to Deebo Samuel. Obviously not the same player, not the same quality player, but in terms of the role, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Marcus Yarns even is an intriguing option. The UDFA out of Delaware, I think that he might be a player to keep your eyes on. You got CEH, you got Xavier Valade and Jordan Mims as well. Nope, Jordan Mims is not on the roster anymore, but you got CEH, Xavier Valade. I just think at the end of the day, this could be a running back group that is a little bit slept on. And I think it's a group that could be pretty good, dare I say? Like, honestly, I don't think that this is a bad running back squad. You have a lot of talent in Kendre Miller that just hasn't been tapped into because of the lack of availability. Alvin Kamara, again, dog. Devin Neal, proven 1,000-yard running back. He is the leading rusher in Kansas Jayhawks football. He had 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. I mean, this guy is a productive, good football player. Like, I just don't think you need to add Antonio Gibson. We're going to talk more about this here in just a second. But, guys, these shirts have been selling like hotcakes. They have been flying off the shelves. I mean, they can't stay on a plate faster, or they can't stay on a plate longer than a plate of beignets when I go to Cafe Du Monde. I mean, I'm inhaling those things, Lopez. It's bad. I get the powdered sugar back in my throat, giggity. It's just impossible to breathe. I am very, very disgusting when it comes to the beignets, and I am also very disgusting when it comes to this shirt because it's so clean, it's so dope, and you can get it today. Chatsports.com/Saints Rewind. It's on sale, it's clearance, limited availability, so don't waste any time. Go and get it right now. Link is clickable in the comments and description of this video. So let's go back to this conversation. My question of Antonio Gibson is, where does he fit in? I think that you could use Kendre Miller kind of as your bowling ball type running back that also has receiving ability, that can maneuver between the tackles. But I also think that he is a player that just doesn't add anything to the Saints offense. And it's no disrespect to Antonio Gibson. I'm excited to see Kendre Miller and Devin Neal. Like, I think two things can be true. I think Antonio Gibson, no hate to him, don't think he'd be much of a big addition to the Saints running back group. I also think that the running backs in New Orleans, the young ones, are intriguing. I'm excited to see what these two players can do this season. I think Kendre Miller has something to prove. He definitely needs something to prove something this year. Otherwise, he's at risk of not having a career in the National Football League. Also, I'll say this with Kendre Miller, it's cool that Kellen Moore is giving him a blank slate. It's cool that he's giving him the opportunity to see what he can do and prove himself and get on the field and try and make a name for himself here in the New Orleans Saints. He's shown flashes when he's been available, but the big question has been the availability with him. Devin Neal, I'm really, really excited about this player. We haven't seen him in black and gold action yet on game days and Sundays, but I'm really, really excited about him. The tape on him is very fun to watch. He's just a really good player to have around, locker room guy as well. I'm excited to see these two players not only battle it out, but also get on the field on Sundays and actually put some yards up on the stat sheet. Now, speaking of yards, who's going to have more of them? Kendre Miller or Devin Neal? Who's going to have more rushing yards? Get in the comment section. Type their initials down below. And to round things out, just last thing that CBS had in this article, they predicted the Titans will actually trade for Will Levis, or the Titans will trade Will Levis to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They mentioned Jalen Ramsey maybe going to the Atlanta Falcons. They mentioned the Falcons for a couple different players as well. But, I mean, this one they straight up said, we think Will Levis is headed down to Tampa Bay. So that's NFC South rumors for you. There you go. I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll have to see. It certainly would be interesting to bring a mayo and coffee drinking guy into the NFC South. I think that could be really, really fun for Saints Twitter. Now, Who Dat Nation, be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Join our Golden Gang if you want more content around the New Orleans Saints by fans for fans. Shout out to producer Lopez. It's Friday. Almost the weekend, man. We're going to have us a good time this weekend. We're going to be hanging out, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend as well. More content coming at you later on. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.